segregation schools, they have worked out their different patterns as what they have found convenient and suitable. And then we had our schools not to undertake school events where school social distancing is not possible. Or at all times, staff and students should be wearing masks, and social distancing to be maintained even during distribution of the PM portion, that is midday meal. Again, as far as the commute transportation was concerned, sanitation of school transportation, and then sensitization of school driver and conductor so that they can also help to ensure that social distance is maintained during the time that students are in the bus or the cab. Again, in hostels, what precautions need to be taken to maintain adequate distance and to screen boarders and before they can be allowed to start staying at the hostel. And then there also was a specific mention that states and UTs are to take consent of parents and guardians before their child or their ward can attend a school. And also, if children are willing to study from home, then they may be allowed to do so. And there would be flexibility in attendance. There would be no undue pressure that they will have to attend school, even once schools reopen. Then, next. The SOP guidelines also highlighted the need for an alternative academic calendar. The weekly calendar was prepared, in fact, by the NCERT, which showed how the academic activities could be still conducted in a joyful manner, even if children are there at home, and even if they're not able to attend classes. In some cases, even if they don't have devices and other means. So this has also was found to be quite helpful. Safety mock drills and this SOP, of course, highlighted the need to focus on the most vulnerable children to prioritize their needs. Migrated children, children of migrant laborers, homeless children, children with disabilities, children who are directly affected by COVID through family illness or death, and children with special needs. These were the focus areas. And also, once schools reopened, to facilitate the smooth transition by taking care of not only the academic aspects, but also their emotional and mental health, not only again of the students, but the teachers as well. Everybody had gone through the same stress. So then, Manodarpan initiative. This was an initiative launched by the Ministry of Education for the psychosocial support, mental and emotional well-being. A national toll-free helpline was created, and a web page is also there in the Ministry of Education's guideline website. Now, I just want to highlight that subsequently, we have reviewed these guidelines on the basis of orders of Ministry of Home Affairs, which have been issued time to time. And these have been also, we have taken into account extensive vaccination coverage, especially of the teaching and non-teaching staff in our schools and educational institutions. I'll just show a few slides after that. And we have modified some of the clauses and instructions, and these have been issued in December 2021. Next. In this, importantly, we have said that states and union territory governments may decide at their level whether the schools are required to take the consent of the parents of the students for attending the physical classes. This is one major difference that the revised SOP has indicated. Again, the phrase social distancing, instead of that, physical distancing phrase should be used. And then gatherings, congregations, group activities, which earlier in our SOP we had said that should not be practiced. This, we have said that it can be done in accordance with the state's SOPs and guidelines. And of course, precautions have to be taken for children with comorbidities, and this was a need. And apart from this, medical facility and contact with nearest medical centers. These other things are all contained in the SOP. Now I'll just come to the status of reopening of schools and vaccination of our teaching and non-teaching staff in the schools in all the states in the country. As far as school reopening is concerned, in 11 states, schools are fully open, they are functioning. It's not very visible here, but we'll share this paper with you. And in 16 states and union territories, they are partially open. And mostly these are the higher classes, generally 9, 10, and 11 and 12 in a staggered way. And in 9 states, schools still remain closed. Yes. In respect of vaccination, the progress has been very good, and in all the states, teaching, non-teaching staff, including both, the vaccination status has overall been, it's around 95% on an average. Some states have also completed 100% vaccination of all their teaching staff and non-teaching staff. Information regarding the eligible student level is still being collected. But here in the last slide I have, even for our various central institutions like Kendriya Vidyalaya, Navodaya Vidyalaya, and CTSA, NIOS, it's either about 100% or 98, 99%. So this is the status. So what I would like to say is that all these measures are being taken, and the ministry has been encouraging the states to follow the SOPs that we have prepared. That was in consultation with them, and also to take forward this issue of vaccination and then alternative learning, alternative measures, so that continued learning is carried on. Thank you.
थैंक यू। आज की इस ब्रीफिंग में हम देख रहे हैं कि the pandemic situation has improved. There are states and districts of concern, but overall there is a contraction in the infection, in the spread of infection, which is heartening. There are 268 districts where the positivity is below 5%, and clearly these districts can now move in the direction of non-COVID care and also in the direction of other economic activities as well as school opening, etc. The declining trend of pandemic allows us to think about those options in general as well. The 2 states of concern remain Kerala and Mizoram in particular, with high positivity rate. And it does also mean that the virus has not gone away as yet. It has not left the nation. So it's a mixed picture. दूसरी विचारधारा जो कहती है अपने अंदर मत देखो, बाहर देखो.
Ministry. All right, so that was the Health Ministry briefing, laying out SOPs on reopening of schools. Schools have been asked to ensure minimum 6 feet of social distancing. Teachers, students, everyone has to cover their faces. They have to wear their masks. And also, events will not be held where there is no possibility of social distancing.